Good morning, beloveds. The other day, Reverend David Bruner asked a question about what the greatest compliment you've ever received is. And I have two, but one of them was that you're just naturally funny. Well, I made my husband snort this morning. For 3 days now, we've had a vulture, although this morning it was 4 vultures, hanging out in our neighbor's yard. They're on his chimney, they're on his they're on the shed in the backyard, they're on the eaves. One of them was on our fence. I don't know what's going on in that backyard. I'm a little curious about what's going on in the backyard. But the cat, one of our cats, is in the window just talking about the vultures, and I went, and so I turned to the cat and I said, "Gabby, are you upset about the goth chickens?" My husband snorted. The goth chickens. Although they're the size of turkeys, so maybe they're goth turkeys. And actually, I think they are turkey vultures. So, goth chickens. If you just need a funny name for a vulture, goth chicken. So that's my gift to you this morning. All right. It is December 21st. Today is the last day to, make your preparations for the freeze. Tonight we will bring the plants in because it will be too cold when we come home tomorrow. What are you doing? You do not need that. Okay, so December 21st. Our title is Wisdom. The first quote is, "For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of its mouth cometh knowledge and understanding." And that is Proverbs 2:6. The starting point of all creation is the word of spirit. The word is the concept, idea, image, or thought of God. And that is Science of Mind, page 69. If you have been allowing your life to unfold according to the direction of an inner divine wisdom, then you are discovering your own unique path. No other person can make that discovery for you. No one can know what activity is taking place in your imagination. Your way is unlike that of any other person. You should continue to permit divine wisdom to lead you on and on, through one accomplishment after another. When you have finished one activity, you will move on to the next, in accordance with God's wise direction. That is the way to live, always trusting in a wisdom that never fails. It is your life. You do the constructing. God will provide the most accurate of blueprints for any and all projects you may choose to become involved in. Choose to be a divine expression of life, to have the opportunity to show originality, and to prove that your use of mind is keen, faithful, and courageous. Living in today, reach for tomorrow. I turn to the great wisdom of God, eager for the guidance so faithfully given and so surely dependable. I drop every sense of fear or anxiety and let divine inspiration direct my actions, eliminating confusion and uncertainty. That divine authority within me knows how to lead me out of all discord. I follow its direction with courage and trust. And that is W.M. William Miller. And so my favorite line or couple of lines is, "It is your life. You do the constructing. God will provide the most accurate of blueprints for any and all projects you may choose to be involved in." So, and that is the truth. That is the truth. It is your life. It is absolutely your life. You get to construct your life. Now, I will remind you, we are in relationship with all the other divine beings around us. So, you may have some co-creators in there, but it is your life. You get to construct it the way you want to. And but God will give you the blueprints. That's one of the things that I talk about when we touch on healing. It's an idea that I got from Amit Goswami, Dr. Amit Goswami, in his class on the Quantum Doctor. That's the name of the book. Is that God has the blueprint. God's idea of you is perfect, whole, complete. And so when you are working on anything, healing being one of them, or in his idea in constructing your life, God has the perfect blueprints that are whole, that are complete, that are inclusive, that have everything that you could possibly need in those blueprints. And how do you access those blueprints? Regular spiritual practice. You need to regularly connect to the source of your own being. So when things are going well, and you just want to kind of get an idea of what's coming next, you spiritual practice, you do meditation, you do treatment, and you go look at the blueprints. When things are not going well, and you're like, where did I go wrong? Spiritual practice, meditation or treatment, you go look at the blueprints. You get to construct your life. That is the gift. You get to construct your life. But God has the ultimate blueprints. And so anytime things are, and notice how I said, if things are going well, go look at the blueprints. And if things are not going well, go look back at the blueprints. And you do that with regular spiritual practice. I keep leaning into treatment and meditation. And the reason I do that is because treatment is where you talk to God and meditation is where you listen to God. But when I say that, there's a wide variety of ways to do meditation. It is not sitting cross-legged on a pillow staring at a wall. It's not only. You can do that. I'm a big believer in walking meditations. Cause me sitting still, yeah. So, and music and all of that. So you are responsible for constructing your life, and you have access to infinite wisdom. And that is the point of spiritual practice. So he's talking about wisdom, and I absolutely just love that line. So if you want to know what your mission today is, I got it. I got it there. It's that line. So we have access to that infinite wisdom. And how do we know when we're listening to infinite wisdom? And this was a question that we were talking about last night. It's like, how do you know that you're listening to the God voice and not your own ego? And on Sunday, Jesse talked about the cost benefit analysis. And that's kind of what you do. You do a check-in when you hear these when you have that thought that crosses your mind and you go, is that a God thought or is that an ego thought? Well, the way you do that is by looking at who it benefits and who it harms. Because if it benefits you and doesn't harm anybody, yes, wonderful. It can be a God thought. If it benefits a whole lot of people, that's even better. But if it harms anyone, it's probably ego. Now, I'm not saying that all of the thoughts from ego will harm someone. Okay? I'm not. Ego has a specific job. Ego's job is to keep you safe. And ego doesn't care about anything else other than keeping the physical you safe. There is nothing that can harm the divine you, but the ego's job is to keep the physical, the vehicle that that is transporting the divine you around, safe. And so ego doesn't care about anything else. So that's why you always want to check in when you get one of those thoughts. Okay, is this an ego thought? And if it's an ego thought, then I need to run that cost benefits analysis, because if it harms absolutely anybody, I need to rethink this. And that's just the way you can do it. And so you have access to this infinite source of wisdom, regular spiritual practice. And that's the cool thing about regular spiritual practice. When you do that regular spiritual practice, when you connect to the source of your own being on a regular basis, then it connects back to you unexpectedly. when you make that regular trip in, and then say you're confronted with something and you have to make one of those snap decisions. Well, if you have been regularly connecting with the source of your own being, then you can make those snap decisions more confidently, because the wisdom that you seek will be immediately available, which is why regular spiritual practice. Okay. When you align with spirit, spirit aligns with you, and you are gifted the ability to access that wisdom in times that may be unexpected and unusual, and you may not know where the information came from, but it's good information. Well, it came from that infinite source of wisdom that you have made a point of regularly connecting with. So in times when you need it like that, there you are. And I'm not, one, I say test it for yourself. And two, I am leaning on the shoulders of, mystics the world over, across time and space. Well, at least across time, who have demonstrated this. It's like, I'm not making this up. I have been reading the sacred literature from around the world, and all of the mystics say that. It's like, sometimes you're going to come to a crossroad and you need to make a decision quick. If you have been doing your regular spiritual practice, you have been regularly connecting with the source of your own being, you have been regularly connecting the divine wisdom, then it's always available to you. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Is it a soapbox when you're happy? I don't know. It is something I'm passionate about, though. Okay, so the mission today, should you choose to accept it, and I'm going to go back to that line that I love so much in this. It is your life. The mission today, should you choose to accept it, is you do the constructing. God will provide the blueprints. So connect regularly to look at those blueprints. That's the mission. All right. It is your life. You get to do the constructing. All right. And you are more than welcome to ask for help, and you can ask for divine help, and you can ask for regular old material help. All right. When you are constructing your life. But the mission today is to go and look at the blueprints. Go and look at the blueprints. Make it a point to go and look at the blueprints regularly. All right. Which, one of the ways you can do that is the next thing that I'm going to suggest, which is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. All right. And that can look like just about anything that is loving, kind, and compassionate. Sometimes it looks like taking a deep breath before you speak. Sometimes it looks like taking a nap. Sometimes it looks like going to bed early. Sometimes it looks like taking a week off from physical exercise. Sometimes it looks like starting up a regular physical exercise. Sometimes it looks like eating dessert first. Sometimes it looks like calling a friend for coffee. And then when you go and have the coffee, engage all of your senses in that coffee or tea or hot cocoa, whatever it is that you drink. Engaging all of 5 of your senses. Practicing loving, kind compassion on yourself. I'm an advocate for it for a number of reasons. You are your own best test subject. You get immediate feedback right there. But it's also about creating a habit, about creating a default setting, about creating a first response. And the biggest reason is because you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. You are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You deserve your own love, kindness, and compassion. Practice on yourself. And that's part of the blueprint. That is part of the blueprint. They talk about that. It's like, we come in with love, kindness, and compassion, and it can kind of be trained out of us. So go back to that original programming. Can you tell my mother was an engineer? All right, beloveds. Almost. Look at those eyes. Look at those. No. I love you. Okay. There was, and then it's gone. So, here's where I will remind you for the rest of the things. I do encourage you to engage your mind and your body every day. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. The brain works better when it's hydrated. And as we move into the cooler weather, like when it's hot, it's easy to think, oh, I'm sweating, I should drink more water. But we actually get really dehydrated in the winter because the heat is running and things like that. So please make sure that you are drinking plenty of water. And it can come in any form you like, including coffee, tea, and hot cocoa. Sometimes drinking cold water in the winter is not a whole lot of fun. I get it. But hydration is important. I do encourage you to get that early in your day bright light. It's a natural hormone rhythm called your circadian rhythm, and that bright light will help to reset those hormones so that you will have more energy during the day and sleep better at night. It's science. You can look it up. And then, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. Okay. I talk about it because it's a superpower, but it's a superpower all of us have, because heaven, as Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. Heaven is within you. Go within to find heaven, because it's a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. And once you learn that, then your superpower is you can create it anywhere that you are. Just amazing. All right. Just amazing. Superpower that we all have. Okay. And you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Gratitude will get you into that heaven consciousness, that heaven mindset, faster than anything else I know. And gratitude is just another word for love. As I remind you, the Christ consciousness, we come pre-installed with Christ consciousness. Absolutely every one of us have it. And the password to access it is love. The password to access it is love. Absolutely. All right. So there's that. And I will, here's the social media part. All right. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Cause I have a YouTube. Creative Life Spiritual Center has a YouTube. That's where I archive these talks. I don't want to clutter up the Creative Life Spiritual Center, because I do one of these every day. All right. And then here is where I encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, a get ready for the hard freeze day, a take care of business day, I'm going to have a Wellness Wednesday at work, so a wellness day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an awe-filled day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. All right. I've said before and will say again, you are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. And you are, as Jesse likes to call us, God, a wondrous godling. All right. The divine presence is within you. You are part of the amazingness that God is. You are part of the amazingness that the divine wisdom is. Go take a look at the blueprints. You'll be amazed. All right, beloveds. And I just lost my train of thought, but that's okay, because it means that I'm at the portion where I remind you that Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, or 9-ish. And yeah, take care of yourself and know that you're loved. I'll see you next time.